Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. Alright, folks, let's dive into what's been buzzing around the NFL, especially about our beloved Atlanta Falcons, and how recent developments could reshape the entire NFC South landscape. The Falcons, as many of you know, have been quietly building something special. After a couple of seasons of ups and downs, there's a real sense that this team is on the cusp of something bigger. The offseason has been particularly interesting, with key moves, strategic draft picks, and some intriguing trade rumors that have fans buzzing with excitement and curiosity. And trust me, what's happening right now might just signal a new chapter for the Falcons, one that could potentially lead us back to the Super Bowl, or at least make the NFC South a lot more competitive than it's been in recent years. Looking back at the 2023 season, the Falcons showed flashes of brilliance, especially on the defensive side, where players like Grady Jarrett and A.J. Terrell proved that they're among the league's top at their positions. Offensively, Desmond Ridder stepped up in significant ways, showing flashes that suggest he could be a franchise quarterback if given the right pieces around him. The addition of Bijan Robinson, the dynamic rookie running back, was a game-changer. His explosiveness and ability to turn a small hole into a big gain added a new dimension to Atlanta's attack. It's clear that the Falcons are trying to craft a balanced team that can contend not just now, but for years to come. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Rumors have been swirling about the Falcons possibly making a splash in the trade market, something that fans have been dreaming about for quite some time. There's been talk about acquiring a star receiver to bolster the offense, someone who can stretch the field and give Ridder that reliable target he's been missing. But there's also an intriguing subplot that's been gaining traction: the possibility of moving some of their high-profile players to make room for new talent or to acquire draft capital. This is where the conversation around Kyle Pitts comes into focus. Kyle Pitts, the number 4 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, has been a polarizing figure for Falcons fans. When he was drafted, expectations were sky-high. A tight end with his size, speed, and athleticism, many believed Pitts could redefine the position and become one of the league's top offensive weapons. And in his rookie year, he certainly showed flashes of that potential, hauling in 68 catches for over 10 yards and just 1 touchdown, which honestly was pretty impressive for a rookie tight end adjusting to the league. But since then, the narrative has started to shift. Injuries, inconsistencies, and a change in offensive philosophy have caused Pitt's role to diminish somewhat. Now there's talk, fueled by rumors and speculations, about Pitts possibly being on the trading block. And I know what some of you are thinking. Why would the Falcons consider trading away a talent like Pitts? Well, it's complicated. The team's front office is always looking for ways to improve the roster, and sometimes that involves making tough decisions. There's a faction of fans and analysts who believe that Pitt's current production doesn't match his potential, and that maybe, just maybe, a fresh start elsewhere could unlock his full capabilities. But let's be clear here, there's a lot of noise, and not all of it is rooted in solid facts. For instance, there have been some rumors floating around that the Dallas Cowboys are interested in trading for Pitts. Now, just to clarify, these are rumors, and often, rumors are just that, rumors. They're not always based on actual negotiations or inside information. One of the recent stories that's been making rounds is about a supposed trade proposal involving Pitts and the Cowboys. Apparently, some fans and even some media outlets have been speculating that Dallas might be willing to send a second-round pick in exchange for Pitts, aiming to bolster their pass-catching options. Now, I want to stress something here. In the NFL, trades of this magnitude often involve a lot more than just a draft pick or a player. It's about fit, scheme, team needs, and the long-term vision. And honestly, Pitt's value isn't just about what he's done so far, it's about what he could become. So this rumor, while interesting, has to be taken with a grain of salt. What's interesting, though, is how quickly the rumor mill can spin out of control. You've seen it before, a vague comment, an anonymous source, and suddenly, everyone's talking about a blockbuster trade that's supposedly imminent. But when you look deeper, you realize that Pitts has no real voice in these discussions. He's not the one calling the shots, and unless he's explicitly expressed a desire to leave Atlanta, it's all just speculation. And honestly, it's not fair to the player, who has shown he's willing to work and improve. Sometimes, a player's value is more about what he can do in the right system with the right coaching staff. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Why would the Falcons even entertain the idea of trading Pitts? Well, it's not necessarily about giving up on him. Sometimes, teams explore trades to shake things up, to get additional assets, or to adapt their roster to the evolving NFL. The Falcons are in a bit of a unique position because they have a core of young, talented players and a coaching staff eager to develop that talent. They also have some veteran leaders who can mentor the younger guys. The key is finding that perfect balance between building for the present and planning for the future. And that brings us to the surrounding context. The NFC South has been one of the most unpredictable divisions in recent years. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with Tom Brady's departure, are in a bit of a rebuild. The New Orleans Saints, while still competitive, are relying heavily on their defense and a veteran quarterback, Derek Carr. The Carolina Panthers are in a full rebuild mode, trying to find their identity with a new coaching staff and young talent. And of course, the Falcons are right there in the middle of this mix, trying to establish themselves as division contenders. The NFL is a league where one offseason can dramatically alter the power dynamics, and the NFC South is no exception. The Falcons have the pieces, the cap space, and the draft capital to make bold moves if they choose to. And that's what has fans excited, the possibility that Atlanta could make a move that propels them into serious playoff contention. Looking ahead to the upcoming season, the Falcons' roster is shaping up to be one of the most interesting in the league. The offensive line has been bolstered with some promising draft picks, and the coaching staff has emphasized a more balanced attack, mixing run and pass more effectively. Defensively, the team has been aggressive in free agency, adding depth and experience to key positions. The development of Desmond Ridder will be crucial. If he can continue to grow and show consistency, Atlanta's offense could become one of the most dynamic in the NFC. The running game, led by Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, is expected to be a strength, and the receiving core, with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, has the potential to be among the league's top units if everyone performs at their best. And speaking of Pitts, it's worth noting that he's still young, only 23 years old, and has plenty of time to develop into the player many believed he could be when he was drafted. The key for the Falcons, and for Pitts himself, is finding the right offensive system, coaching support, and consistency. If they can do that, he might just be on the verge of a breakout season. And let's be honest, the NFL is a league where patience and development often pay off. Sometimes, a player's best years are still ahead of him, and the Falcons are in a perfect position to capitalize on that. Now, back to the division and the big picture. The NFC South is wide open, and that's what makes these rumors and speculations so intriguing. The Falcons are trying to position themselves as serious contenders, and making bold moves in the offseason is part of that strategy. Whether it's trading for a star receiver, adding depth to the defense, or even exploring potential trades involving players like Pitts, the team seems to be in a mindset of aggressive development. It's about creating a roster that can not only compete but dominate. The NFL is a league where one or two key moves can turn a team's fortunes around, and Atlanta fans should be excited about the possibilities on the horizon. But let's not forget the importance of patience and strategic planning. The Falcons have a talented young core, and their coaching staff has been emphasizing smart, disciplined football. The offseason is a time for building, for evaluating talent, and for making those subtle moves that can tip the scales in your favor. The NFL draft, free agency, and trade talks are all part of that puzzle. And while rumors about Pitts or other players might be flying around, the real story is about how Atlanta is positioning itself to be a serious contender in 2024 and beyond. Looking even further into the future, the Falcons have a clear vision. They want to be a team that can consistently compete at the highest level, build a sustainable winning culture, and bring a Super Bowl back to Atlanta. That involves smart drafting, player development, and sometimes, bold trades. The team's recent drafts have been promising, especially with the addition of young stars like Bijan Robinson and the continued growth of players like Drake London. The coaching staff, led by Arthur Smith, has proven that they can develop talent and adapt their game plan to maximize their roster's strengths. And what about the fans? Well, we're all eager for that first real taste of success after so many years of close calls and heartbreak. The Atlanta Falcons have a passionate fan base, known for their resilience and unwavering support, even during tough times. The energy at Mercedes-Benz Stadium is unmatched, and every game feels like a chance to write a new chapter in this team's story. The hope is that with the right moves, the right coaching, and a little bit of luck, this could be the year everything comes together. And in the midst of all these rumors, all this speculation, one thing remains clear. Atlanta is hungry for success, and they're not going to settle for anything less. As we look ahead to the upcoming season, it's important to keep an eye on the development of the roster, the coaching strategies, and the division rivals. The NFC South is competitive, and every game counts. The Falcons will face tough challenges, but they also have a lot of potential. The key will be consistency, staying healthy, and executing their game plan. The team has the talent, the coaching, and the fan support to make a real run. And yes, some of the rumors about trades and roster moves add to the excitement. They keep us guessing and dreaming about what's possible. In conclusion, this offseason has been a whirlwind of activity and speculation for the Atlanta Falcons. The potential trade rumors, the draft picks, the coaching adjustments, all of it points to a team that is serious about competing and winning. And for us, as fans, it's an exciting time to be part of this journey. We've seen glimpses of what this team can become, and with the right moves, the right mindset, and a bit of luck, the Falcons could very well surprise everyone in 2024. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and get ready for what promises to be an exhilarating season. The road back to the Super Bowl isn't just a distant dream anymore, it's within reach, and the Falcons are ready to take that step. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these rumors, the potential trades, and the future of the team? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. Do you believe that Atlanta is on the brink of something special? Or do you think they need to make more moves before they're truly contenders? Whatever your view, we want to hear it. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. The journey is just beginning, and I can't wait to see what this team accomplishes next. Thanks for being part of this community, and as always, go Falcons!